If Peter Obi wins, some people are already standing to prove to him he was elected by their proxy. Osuntokun says, they should stand now. If they would like that, they should prove anything as long as he enters. That's their business. Akin Osuntokun, former political advisor to former president Olusegun Obasanjo, lamented during an interview that that Nigeria were too focused on who became president while neglecting the more fundamental issues of constitutional reform. Which will be constitutional reform? Explaining why he believes constitutional reform was more important than electing a new president. Osuntokun argued that Nigeria's challenges were rooted in structural defects within the constitution and governance system. He maintained that merely changing the occupant of the presidency without addressing those underlying constitutional issues would not bring about the meaningful transformation Nigerians desired. According to him, whoever became president under the current structure was likely to disappoint Nigerians because the system itself was flawed. He noted that even if whom he described as perhaps the closest and strongest opposition figure became president, he would still have to operate within a compromised political structure, including the National Assembly, which National Assembly will go pursue all of the comments, and entrenched patronage network. Osuntokun further argued that any president in Nigeria was immediately subjected to political interests, regional demands, and patronage expectations, which often compromised leaders from the moment they assumed office. He stated that if Obi became president, he would still have to work with the National Assembly and the judiciary. When he enters the first thing is to make sure that AFCC arrests all those people in the National Assembly, especially Akpabio, number one. Arrest all of them, so they should go and start answering for their crime. Then they will now start that National Assembly from the scratch. Which judiciary, all of them will go to jail. Noting that the current composition and character of the National Assembly would likely remain unchanged and could hinder whatever reforms would be intended to implement. You leave that one. I don't know why people are jumping the gun. Calm down. Let him enter first now. Which one is your own? We will work with the National Assembly. Okay. He added that Obi would likely face considerable frustration. Wait first. He will face frustration. Okay. We have heard you, and will come to understand certain realities about Nigeria that might not have fully been appreciated before attaining the presidency. He said he will encounter some of the things about Nigeria that maybe he did not realize before. Assuming he gets to the presidency, which one we are assuming he gets to the presidency? He's going to get to the presidency. Some people are already standing to prove to him that he was elected by their proxy. That's their business. If they want to be proven, that's their own. As long as he has already become the president, let them be proving that he was elected by their proxy, and therefore make unnecessary demands and positions. So effectively from day one, the fellow is compromised. What makes you think he's going to bend to their wishes? Who is this one? I beg you, your wallet is too much. I do not know who can envision or be with the kind of tax, patronage, tons of money which the National Assembly advocates to themselves. Nigeria is bogged down by patronage, politics, and excessive concentration of power. That is why I insist that the focus 2027 should be constitutional reforms and not personality. Somebody has to get there and do that constitutional reform. Who is going to do it? You think it is this one that will do the constitutional reform? Please. Age technology says, even what nonsense, who dash monkey banana? Politics is not a challenger market. I beg you, go and sit down. I bet she says these are the problem with the Nigerians. Someone that have not contested or may not even contest, we have already concluded that he won. Our society is full of adults with delinquent behaviors. Nigerians are the major factor of all our failures. Our leadership games are fake, without genuine commitment to nation building. Very unfortunate circumstance. It is well. As Ansha says, Obi my man will always win. But can the criminals who hijack this country announce him? They don't have a choice. They don't have a choice. They will announce. They don't have a choice. As Boston says, when he gets to the beaches, you will see the wonder of an Igbo man. They fought civil war with handmade weapons and bombs, Ogbonigwe, even constructed military tanks They constructed an emergency airport airstrip in Uri, Anambra State, in the midst of war without importing a single item. They survived with 20 pounds. These people are special. Okay. Abeolu says this can be an intuition. A Nigerian leader is not a joke. Exactly, it's just an intuition. Okili said a leader with a clear vision will use his first 6 months in office to reform that constitution that you are saying. Exactly. If Tinubu can request for a loan and get approved that day, what else? Divine Spirit says Nigerians home and abroad knows and have agreed that the country is a very big mess from Buhari to Tinubu and wants a total change of leadership. No argument. So when we get to that bridge, we'll cross it. Don't be rushing. Calm down. Alabi says, what did you do in your time, Baba, and did you ever make mention of restructuring Nigeria or the constitution? Don't mind them. As Obu James says, the bill will make it soon. Amen. My Nasara says, Nigerians try so hard for constitutional reforms, especially reformation of electoral acts, which Akpabio and Tinubu DK, which is headed by him, stood against. So voting them out in order for a good Democrat to come in for constitutional reforms to be carried out. Exactly, because somebody has to get there first before that constitutional reform can be carried out. Emmanuel there says it's a lie. A new Nigeria is possible with Mr. Peter Obi. Okay. Musa says good luck all the way. Israel says very true. Tinubu can dare to do electoral reform. It's better it goes again unless Nigeria break up and set us free. Who wants to dare to do electoral reform? Is he doing any electoral reform? People are jokers. Emeka said, Mr. Osuntokun, how can you get constitutional reform if you don't elect a credible candidate? I wonder. Olorunfemi says, Obi's winning a presidential election is a long dream that cannot be realized now because the statistics and electoral success indicators are not on his side. Who told you that? Who told you that? Dennis International says if there's an election, Peter Obi will win. Tinubu is of the old brigade and has nothing to offer Nigerians. Peter Okere says Tinubu is supposed to do that, but he has failed, so Obi will do it. Obi will do it. Caleb says who will do the reform that you're talking about? It's easier for selfless persons like Obi to go in and do the reform. Current lineage can never. They cannot do any reform. These ones that are there now, because it will put them out of their crusade business. Exactly. They can't do it. So it's somebody else that will do it. That is it. Let him win first. Abi, let him win first. You people should calm down. Calm down. My listeners, don't forget to like, share, subscribe. Thank you for listening. See you some other time. Bye.